Hi, let's discuss next example of analyzing non-recursive algorithm by using frequency count method. In previous lecture, I already discussed 5 examples. Let's discuss example 6. For I equals to 1, p equals to 0, p less than equals to n I plus plus, p equals to p plus I. This loop will terminate when p-value will be greater than n. Till it is less than equals to n, it will work. Here I need to check both I-value and p-value. Initially I-value is 1 and p-value is 0. Then if 0 is less than equals to n, yes, then p-value will be p plus I. So it will be 0 plus 1. Loop will continue like this: initialization, then it will check the condition, then statement, then increment. So initially I value is 1 and p value will be 0 plus 1. Next I value will increment. Now I value will be 2 and p value will be, what is previous p value? It is 1 plus 2. So for I value is 2, p value will be 1 plus 2. Next I value will increment 3, then p value will be, previously p value was 1 plus 2 plus, now I value is 3, so we'll add 3. So next for I3, p value will be 1 plus 2 plus 3. Like this, for I value is k, p value will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 up to k. Assume that for this p value, means when p equals to 1 plus 2 up to k, this is less than equals to n. Means for I up to k it will work. Next for I k plus 1 it will not work. So for I value k plus 1, p value will be 1 plus 2 up to k plus 1. At k plus 1 it will fail. So when p value will be greater than n, it will fail. Means 1 plus 2 up to k plus 1, when it is greater than n, it will fail. Now what is value of this? We know that 1 plus 2 up to n, that is n into n plus 1 divide 2. So here up to k plus 1, that's why it will be k plus 1 into k plus 1 plus 1, means k plus 2 divided by 2, that will be greater than n. So approximately we will consider k square equals to n, that means k equals to root over of n. This is the approximate value. So we can write running time is theta of root n, as up to k time it is running and after k it is fail. So k value is root n, that's why running time will be theta of root n. Let's take another example, example 7. For I equals to 1, I multiplication I less than equals to n, I plus plus, and some statement is given here. Basic operation is this statement. We need to check how many times this statement is running. So we'll take two value, one is I, another is I square. As I square value is less than equals to n. So when I square value will be greater than n, it will stop. Till I square value is less than equals to n, it will work. So for I equals to 1, I square will be 1 multiplication 1, it will be 1. Then for I equals to 2, I square will be 2 square, and 2 square should be less than equals to n. For I equals to 3, I square will be 3 square. Like this, for I equals to k, I square will be k square. Assume that this k square is less than equals to n, means till I value is k it is working, then it will fail when I value is k plus 1. So when I value is k plus 1, this I square value will be k plus 1 square. So if k plus 1 square is greater than n, it will fail. So approximately k square equals to n, k equals to root of n. This is the approximate value. So you can say running time is theta of root of n. Let's see next example, example 8. For I equals to 2, I less than equals to n, I equals to I square, and some statement is given. Every time I value will be I square and this I should be less than equals to n. When it will be greater than equals to n, it will fail. So we'll check iteration and I. For first iteration, I value is 2. Here it is given I equals to 2. 2 that we can write as 2 power 2 power 0. 2 power 0 is nothing, it is 1. So 2 power 1 or simply 2. In next iteration, I value will be I square. So it will be 2 square. For second iteration, I value will be 2 square, that we can write as 2 power 2 power 1. Then for third iteration, it will be 2 square whole square. So that we can write as 2 power 2 power 2. Like this it will continue. For k iteration, I value will be 2 power 2 power k minus 1, and this value is less than equals to n, so it will work. Next, for k plus 1 it will fail when the I value will be greater than n. For I value 2 power 2 power k, it will fail. Assume that this value is greater than n. Take log at both sides. After taking log, we'll get log 2 power 2 power k greater than log n. Now this thing you can simplify. This 2 power k you can take to left side. So it will be 2 power k log 2. And we know log 2 base 2, that is 1. So 2 power k will be greater than log n. You can take log in both sides, so it will be log of 2 power k greater than log of previously one log was given, so log n. Now this k you can take to left side, so you can write k here, and this log 2 value is 1, so k will be greater than log of log n. So approximately you can write k equals to log of log n, and running time is theta of log n. Let's see another example, example 9. For I equals to n, I greater than equals to 2, I equals to root of I, and some statement is given. For first iteration, I value is n. Next, for second iteration, it will be root of n. Root of n we can write as n power 1 by 2. I equals to root of I, previously it was n, so now it will be n root over, or we can write n power 1 by 2. Next, for third iteration, it will be root of n root over, means n power 1 by 2 power 1 by 2. That we can simplify as n power 1 by 2 square. This thing you can write as n power 1 by 2 square. So for third iteration, I value is n power 1 by 2 square. Like this, for k iteration, I value will be n power 1 by 2 power k minus 1. Up to this it will work. For k plus 1 iteration, it will fail. So for k plus 1 iteration, I value will be n power 1 by 2 power k. So now when this value will be less than 2, it will fail. N power 1 by 2 power k, that is less than 2. So take log in both side. After taking log in both side, log n power 1 divided 2 power k less than log 2. So this log 2 is 1. Here you can take 1 divided 2 power k into left side. 1 divided 2 power k log n, that is less than 1. This 2 power k that you can take to right side. So log n less than 2 power k. Log n is less than 2 power k. What is k value? K value will be greater than log of log n. Approximately you can say k equivalent to log of log n. So what will be running time? Running time will be theta of log n. Whether I value is square or whether I value is root, running time is theta of log n. For both, if it is square or it is root over, it is log of log n. I discussed almost every type of for loop. Let's discuss multiple for loop. Up to example 9, it was single for loop. Next, I will discuss multiple for loop. It may be nested loop. It may be not nested. It may be dependent. It may be independent loop. So let's discuss example 10. It is combination of two for loop, but both are independent. It is not dependent. For I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, some statement is given. Then for j equals to 0, j less than n, j plus plus some statement is given. These two for loop are independent, these two are separate for loop. Here variable is I, here variable is j, and I and j both are independent, both are not dependent each other. This statement will execute separately while this statement will execute separately. So what we will do, we'll find running time for first for loop, running time of for second for loop, then we'll add and we'll find running time of both for loop. We know for this type of loop running time is n. We can write in sum format, I is 0 to n and 1. There is just one statement and we know this value is approximately theta of n. And here for this also running time will be theta of n. First for loop will run n time while second for loop will also run n time. Means both for loop will run 2n time, 2n that we can write as theta of n. So for these two for loop running time is theta of n. These two are separate independent loop. In next lecture, I'll discuss some more example of multiple for loop. It may be nested, may be dependent, may be independent. If this lecture is helpful for you, please like and subscribe. Thank you.